Say hello, Lucy. Oh, Cuddles. Oh, have I been blessed? So today I am back with my one and only series on my channel right now, which is my Pan That palette. It's been a good month, hasn't it, Lucy? I pretty much wore this every single day except for where I was reviewing the Colourpop and Animal Crossing eyeshadows, which will be up on my channel soon. But this palette I wore pretty much every day last month. And let's go through the numbers before I show you what's inside. So last month this was 480 grams, which it had been for a while, and I wasn't 100% sure why, because I was getting good use out of it. But this month the number has finally changed, and it is now 468 grams, which is 2 grams less, which I'm very happy about. I mean, I don't know if that's actually because it was this month I used a lot. I mean, I did use a lot, but it might be that I used a decent amount in past months. But either way, I'm very happy about that, because that number has not gone down in ages, and despite using this palette so much, I was feeling really down about that, I suppose. But anyway, here's what the palette looked like last month, and we'll show you this month. Here is what she's looking like now. As you can see, we have 2 new pans, or perhaps not, because one of them is difficult to see, but I'll go through them individually. I think I've made some good progress on just about every single shade in here. Okay, so Ranch, last month I said it had about a tic-tac of a pan. It's slowly expanding. It still looks a little bit tic-tac-like. But I use this pretty much every day as an inner corner highlight when I'm at work, so yeah, it's getting there. I mean, it's, you know, as I keep on saying, not the greatest shade, but we'll get through it. My pills, I have been using this a lot more this month, and as you can see, it's really starting to get thin. And there's a lot more pan in there, so we're really getting through that one. And I'm almost sad to see it go, because that's probably one of my favorite shades here. So I was kind of dreading using it in past updates, but I've been using it a lot this past month. And Tanacon, which is one of my new pans. Yeah, it's finally there. I've been using this a lot, like a lot, and I am glad to see a decent amount of pan. Like, it's not a tiny specular pan, it's like a big chunk. I suppose that's because I'm using a big blending brush in there. Yeah, I mean, I'll be continuing to use it and see if we can expand that pan. But that was one of my goals for last time, and I hit it, so I'm proud of myself. Diet Root Beer, it's going to be hard to show this on camera, but there is indeed the tiniest bit of a dip in the shade. And thank God, because it's so hard pressed. Ugh. It's been taking ages, but we're finally getting through it. I've been pairing it a lot more with Cheese Dust to sort of give that autumn, darker, warm tone look. But it's gonna take a long time to get through that one. Just a theory, we've got this sort of triangle pan going now. Yeah, I've used a lot of this shade in the past month. Like, I used it so many times. Pretty much every time I wore a metallic, I was wearing this shade. So it's really starting to show where it's a lovely shade, to be honest. Spiraling, that was one of my goals, to use it, so it's shown that it's worn down a little bit, and as you can see, there is 2 dips starting to happen, and the design is pretty much gone. on. I mean, the outside is still there, of course, but it's got some dip to it, which is nice. But I still hate that shade. So bad. So bad. Conspiracy, I think I used it once this month. It's underwhelming. I don't really know what to say about it. At least it looks like it's shown some wear. But yeah, that's about it. You love chewing on this one, don't you? The mirror? Oh, mirror? Mirror for Borg? Pigment is, well, it's, I've been using it alongside my pills, but it's doesn't really look like it's been used at all still. It is a lovely shade, so I'm not that mad about that. Food videos I used a decent amount, but it's kind of a difficult one to use because it doesn't go with anything in the damn palette. So yeah, I mean, I do love it, but it's just very inconvenient. Trisha, it's starting to get the tiniest bit of a dip in it. Tiny little dip, which I'm excited about. Still a bit of a yikes that this is in the palette. Lucy, I know I want to use it up too, but that's not how you do it. Cheese dust, this also was one of my goals, and I've gotten rid of the cross eyes on the pig. And we're starting to get the tiniest bit of a dip. I've been wearing this one every day to work now that it's autumn, so I think I'll start to get a decent dip throughout autumn. I've been using Flaming Hot a decent amount, like I'm wearing it on my eyes today, but it's extremely hard pressed, so it doesn't look like I've touched it, which is frustrating. It's very, very pigmented. You can tear a hole in that. Spicy mango. What's the tea? I've used a couple times and the pan has expanded a decent amount. A decent amount. It looks, yeah, I mean, it's starting to become a little bit more like my pills and thinning out. Obviously not to the same extent, but we're getting there. We're getting there with this one. Yeah, I like that shade, to be honest. Diet Cola I used once, and it's that underwhelming silver. It's probably one of the least used shades. Not a Fact actually looks the most intact out of every shade in this palette. Actually, no, Flaming Hot's probably. They're both. Yeah, I used it a lot on my eyes today, but it looks no different in the pan. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll get there. We'll get there. Sleep paralysis. There is pan. I don't know how well it's going to show up because it is a silver shade, but there is a pan right here. It's obvious. Like, I have my problems with this shade. It's a bit too opaque. Doesn't blend very nicely, but it is a really pretty shade. I'm wearing it on my inner corner today, and I've been wearing it to work paired with the orange, which is doesn't look the greatest, but who cares. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that it will start looking like Just a Theory, because I kind of replaced it with Just a Theory, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at that one. Illuminati I wore as a liner, and that's about it this month. It's really dark. Maybe during winter I'll use it more. I mean, I'll try and get some more use out of it, but it's just not a shade I'm really feeling like wearing. So yeah, it's kind of on the back burner. My rides here I've been using as a liner. I'm wearing it today and it's nice. I mean, using it as a liner doesn't mean I'm using that much, but I am using it consistently, so I don't know if I'll use this up at any point, unfortunately. So next month will be the 6-month update, which is half a year. Oh my god. She doesn't care. So I think I should set some goals for that because that's very exciting. So when I started out this project, I wanted to wear away all the designs, and I think my goals for next month should be to make Not a Fact look like it's actually been used, same with Flaming Hot, and same with Conspiracy, just to try and really, you know, get through them. It's a bit difficult because they are very, very different shades. I mean, I'm wearing Not a Fact and Flaming Hot on my eyes today, and I think it looks alright. But Conspiracy is very difficult to use with this freaking palette. Maybe with food videos? I don't know. I'll give it a shot. I mean, it's good for very grungy looks, so if I really head into like the grungy sort of territory, sure. I mean, it's really nice with Illuminati, but you need to wear some grungier mattes with that, and they're not really in this palette, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with how much I've used this month. I am a tad bit burnt out on it though, because I've been using it so much for so long. Ugh. But I am determined to finish this palette by the 12th check. At least, I want to at least have made a decent amount of progress, maybe finish some shades by the 12th month update of this project. I think realistically I could finish my pills, Just a Theory, What's the Tea, Sleep Paralysis, and maybe Ranch. I think that's realistic, but it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a journey. But yeah, I mean, if anyone has the Conspiracy palette and is not feeling great about owning it, I invite you to join me on the journey to pan this palette. And Lucy will continue to pan the outside of the palette. Good job. Good job. Yes, good. That's my finger. So if you enjoyed this update and want to follow along with my project, please like and subscribe to my channel. That would help me out a lot. Say goodbye, Lucy. Not want to say goodbye, not. So cuddly. Such a cuddly bird.